Hello everybody. I hope this noise from the wind isn't going to be too loud, but I've been holding off on filming because it's either been rainy or windy, and I need to conduct this last tour of Little Blue 2 because we are pretty much at the end of her journey as my emergency shelter here. We are currently at our 8-month point, and I thought I'd go ahead and do a 8-month update and final tour of Little Blue 2. It is extremely windy out here, so I'm praying that the noise isn't so loud that you can't hear me. As you can see, we are currently at the I think it's the Kiwanis Park over here at the end of well, not at the end, but right off the Melbourne Causeway. This is the location where we filmed previously when I was still stuck in Brevard County, and we saw the dolphin encounters and watched the sunrise. Dolphins were right over there in that area, and I thought this would be a pretty park to go ahead and do the final tour. So for those of you who have been following along, you've been watching the development of Little Blue from its initial concept of being a part-time leisure minivan camper to having to actually function as an emergency full-time vehicle, stealth vehicle. I now present to you what it currently looks like at 8 months into the trip of actual full-time usage. Let's go ahead and take a look on the outside right now. As you can see, the van itself looks pretty normal. It is very stealth in the sense that it looks normal. What can cause distractions and problems in a stealth vehicle is stuff like this, chipping paint. The clear coat on here has come off, and even the rust spot here. And for a while I had my tire up there. Those are all things that can point your car or your vehicle, your van, out from other vehicles and cause the police and other people to take notice of it. And if you're trying to go stealth, you want to try to avoid stuff like that. But I didn't have a choice, so I went with what I had. I do apologize for the mess. I'm in process of cleaning the vehicle out, but you can see inside it is pretty much a standard vehicle up front. I will show the systems up here in a minute. Well, let me go ahead and give you an overview, just a shot. We'll work from our front and work towards the back. Let's go ahead and take a look at this. Inside the vehicle, there isn't really much here that sets it apart from a regular vehicle, other than that I mounted the suction cup unit here with Velcro. And if you've been watching the series and you know that I've done some dash cams, this is how I did it. I had Velcro up here, and I had the camera right here that we're using, and there's Velcro on the camera, and I just stick it up here like this, simply like that, and run the camera right off the dash like that. There's also Velcro here, which is designed to hold the cameras. Once again, I use the well, when I say cameras, it's actually the cell phones, the Android smartphones. And I basically have several Android smartphones. They're cheap ones that I got from Walmart. And I use them for everything from internet access as a Wi-Fi device to GPS for navigation and as an MP3 player. So I basically, run it through there, and then I have the cassette deck here with the audio input that goes into the sound jack, the the earphone out jack on the phone, and that's used to run through the stereo system here to give me sound. There hasn't been really too many changes to the cockpit other than additions, okay? I added the Velcro, I added that for the GPS. The GPS went down here and the dash cam went up there. The other thing that really was critical was this portable ice cooler unit that runs off 12 volts. I have this unit running a cable down here that goes into the back and plugs into a 12-volt outlet in the midsection of this Grand Caravan. But you can see this unit here is empty right now because we're no longer using it. If you've been following the series, for those of you who are curious and still not sure, I did indeed get married. I did not get married on April 1st. I got married on March 29th. I made the announcement on April 1st. Because I felt you guys needed to know, and it was the first chance I had an opportunity to do so, and also kind of as a reverse, April Fool's, because if you've been watching previous episodes, I did silly stuff like I was pretending to shower naked, in the van's shower system. in previous years. And those of you who know me on Facebook, I did other silly stuff like had everybody believing that I was caught on the nude beach by the police, and they had hauled me off and gave me a huge fine. But anyhow, that's another story, maybe for another time. But this unit right here I thought was very important because it runs off 12 volts and comes on when the vehicle's driving, so it kind of keeps things cool. And then I also got this cup from Racetrack, which every day I would get ice from a gas station or McDonald's or some other restaurant. All you have to do is just walk in there with a cup like this and just ask them and say, do you mind if I get some ice? And pretty much no one has ever said no. They pretty much let me get a cup of free ice. And I put the free ice here, and then I put my food here, which would last 1 day or so. And I use the ice to keep things cool, as well as for drinks, you know, so I could make soda or whatever and have it nice and cold. You can see I have my standard holder here with just some water right now. And all my supplies that were up here have been removed because I am in process, and actually have already moved in with my my new wife. So this van is about to retire just in the nick of time. Some people have accused me of being a scammer or a liar, or a con man, or whatever. I'm not sure where they're getting that from. Everything in the series has been true, and is not scripted. It's what it is. You know, I ended up meeting someone several months back. We dated, we had a relationship, and decided, you know, to get married, and that's why I'm married. It also happened to occur at this time right now when I wasn't sure what to do with Little Blue's systems. I was in process of determining if I was going to get another van or get this fixed or whatnot. Well, the resolution that we made was actually to go ahead and get married. But I'm going to go ahead and stop this tour because it looks like I've switched the tour to just me talking about what had happened. So that's pretty much it. I just wanted to explain that I went ahead and got married, and I'm currently you know, in process of moving everything in and combining our two families into one. I do plan on continuing to update the YouTube channel with new content. Yeah, I know that the majority of my viewers are the van dweller community, which I still plan on continuing to produce videos for. So we'll continue to do vanning videos, even though I will have shifted back down to part-time van dwelling. I'll pretty much be using the van for leisure, like camping and trips and whatnot with my new wife. And sometimes with my family, depending on, you know, what van we get and where we go and how we convert it. Obviously, we are at the end of the line for Little Blue 2. I had started off as a tour, but we'll go ahead and do another video with a tour where I don't take a side road and start talking about my personal life here. But you can see Little Blue is still currently intact, and I'm in process of actually, sadly, dismantling her. I know some of you had suggested, you know, getting another vehicle and selling her, and that is probably what's going to eventually happen. But it is still sad because Little Blue 2, if you've been watching the whole series for the past 8-9 months, isn't just a vehicle. She's been my home, my friend, my lifesaver. I mean, without her, I would have been out there in the cold, just like all those homeless people that I met. I wouldn't have had the ability to cook food using the inverter cooking system. I wouldn't have been able to travel to work, you know, on the knife gig. So she isn't just a van, but a friend. And so there's some sentimental attachment that I have to her because she kept me alive for these past 8-9 months out on the road. So it is pretty sad for me when I think that this is the end of the line for her, but she's running terribly. I think getting maybe as low as 6 or 7 miles per gallon, maybe even lower than that. So the plan right now is I'm going to go ahead and keep her because I'm going to continue filming the segments of the yurt construction as well as the Freedom Trail that I'll be building at Camp Freedom 2. And, you know, Blue is all scratched up and beat up. And even though she's getting terrible gas mileage, I'll continue to drive her out there to work on the yurt and the Freedom Trail that I'm building out there for visitors who are brave enough to venture out there. So look forward to those videos coming up. In the meantime, as far as my personal life, obviously I now have a family, and as some people have said or thought, man, he's moving from the frying pan right into the fire. And you are indeed correct. You know, I'm already, or was already, in a very bad situation, and then to suddenly get married probably is not the smartest move. But you got to do what your heart says, and you got to trust God. You know, I didn't just randomly marry someone. I married someone after prayers and asking God, you know, if this was the path I was to choose. And even though it seems like it's a stupid path, with everything that's happened and is currently happening, my heart and what I felt God told me was to go ahead and get married. And I did. So some of you I know are curious about my new wife and wanting to know more about her, but I must let you know up front, she's you know, a very private person and doesn't wish to appear on YouTube. You know, those of you on my Facebook personal page have seen the picture and stuff, so you know she's real. I did not marry a figment of my imagination. She's a real person, and she has a daughter, and we are now husband and wife. Now, as far as her appearing in future videos, there may be a possibility. You know, she's not really into the idea of living in a van, but she is somewhat open to possibly either getting an RV or converting a larger van or bus type vehicle into a camper, so we could take road trips with her, or with it, or whatever we end up naming the vehicle. So if things go well, there may be some more build videos where we're actually building a new van for not just myself, but for my new wife and possibly my children as well. It just depends. You all come back. I'm sorry the video cut off there, but essentially we're planning on continuing the channel to support living in a van videos, as well as other things that come up. I know some of you are confused, you know, and think that I'm going to stop producing van content. The channel is called Living in a Van, so I think we're safe to say that we're going to continue to produce van videos, build series, and maybe technical stuff to kind of show people how things are put together, or how I put things together. Like I said, we are planning on possibly building a leisure vehicle for my wife and myself, and maybe my children. So look forward to that if things go smoothly for us. In the meantime, what you can look forward to coming up here in the next couple days or weeks here is dissecting Little Blue. I'm going to plan a little mini video series to show the components that make up Little Blue and how they work in pretty detail, you know, as detailed as I can get it, I think. So those of you who are curious or interested in building your own systems, you can see how Little Blue was actually put together and helped me to survive these past 8-9 months out here living full time. So you get to see once again, the inverter cooking system, the shower systems, and everything that actually made it to final production, versus the initial plan that, you know, you start out a journey of converting the van and you have all these grand plans and you build all these things, and it turns out that a lot of what you build isn't used or doesn't work as intended. So you get to see basically systems that actually were used and that actually did work. And if you've been following the series, you kind of already know them because you watched them fall apart and have me do modifications and rebuilds. But we've had a lot of new viewers join us, so it might be interesting for them to see the systems as I basically decompose or dissect Little Blue's various components. So look forward to those. I am going to go ahead and try a new tour video because, you know, this segment here actually started off as a tour a final tour, farewell tour of Little Blue 2, and it ended up diverting to me just talking about my life. So I'm gonna go ahead and end this segment and go ahead and try to do a tour again. I want to thank you all for joining me, and really I am so grateful for your continued support and encouragement. Until next time, everybody, have a fantastic day.